to it. So today we're going to talk about what your auto loan is hiding from you, what your monthly car payment is hiding from you. All right. So let's get right into it. And so for those who don't know, if you have a auto loan, now if you got less than 12 months on it, then this information may not necessarily apply to you because you have such a short period of time left. But if you do have about, I would say more than 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, some of you all have even signed 7, 8 year loans, you most definitely can take advantage of what I'm about to say right now. Okay. And that is the fact that you can lower your car payments. All right. So I'm going to show you guys actually the steps, simple steps that anyone that's watching this can follow to lower their car payments right now. Okay. So I want to go ahead and start off by saying number one, I'm going to give you all the banks that you can go to right now that provide what we call a soft pull. And I'll break down the differences between a soft pull as well as a hard pull and what you need to do to go ahead and meet those qualifications right now. Now, if you're watching this and you say, Calvin, listen, I love my car payment, no problem. Then we'll see you on another video. Okay. But either way, if this is the video for you, then you most definitely want to keep on watching. So let's get right into it. So the very first bank that we're going to go into is a bank called Caribou. Now, by the way, this bank, it already put the link inside the description below if you guys want to learn more about this. I'm just trying to save you some money. And what I've noticed is a lot of people, they have auto loans in which they have a certain interest rate and a certain term. A lot of times when people think about lowering their car payment, they think they have to restart or start fresh with a different term. You do not have to do that. You can actually keep the same term or similar and actually get a better interest rate. See, the problem is that people, your credit scores, they slowly increase over time. They should be. So if you got an auto loan and your credit score is under 600, you're more than likely paying more than you should. And even if you got a great interest rate, I know a lot of people that got great interest rates, and but they just still needed to lower their car payment. Don't worry, you're going to learn from this video as well. If you have a lease, you can still learn from this video as well. I'm going to show you guys why it may be best to turn that lease and actually lower your car payment instead of turning that lease in and actually getting another lease. You do not want to get another lease right now. The interest rates are not the best, but you could most definitely lower your car payment. So let's get right into it. So the very first bank is going to be Caribou. Okay. So just like, I don't know what type of animal it is, but it's like you guys know what a caribou is. And if you don't, just Google it because I don't know what it is. But anyway, that's the name that they call themselves. It's Caribou Auto Finance. Now, here's a great thing about Caribou is that Caribou does a soft pull. Okay. So you guys can go to the link inside the description below, and that's Caribou. Okay. That's Caribou Auto Finance. Okay. Auto loan refinance. And so what you do is you fill out the application. It's a soft pull. And as you're filling out the application and doing that soft pull application, you can actually fill out the application, put in the vehicle, the miles, the year, all that great stuff. And once you do all of that, what's great is they'll let you know if they can help you lower your car payment. Now, this costs you nothing. So if you guys are in the comments, this costs you nothing. Okay. I don't care what your car payment is. You need to see if you can lower that car payment because anytime you save money, that is a good situation. Okay. It's a good situation for sure. Okay. So that's Caribou. Now, before we go any further, make sure you guys download my free ebook. Okay. I got the link for the free ebook inside of the description below as well. So if you guys are looking to learn more about your credit score, if you're not sure exactly if you understand your credit score completely, you guys can go ahead and download that free ebook right now. It'll get sent directly to your email. Okay. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. So that's Caribou. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, well, Calvin, how do I know if I qualify? You do need to have a credit score of at least about a 580, and then it will let you know based on your information. And again, this is a soft pull. Let's break that down. A soft pull is essentially where the bank does not need to take a hard look at your credit report. They will take what you put on the application, they'll verify the information, and that's all they're going to do. So that means it will not affect your score in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you decide to go ahead and move forward, then they do need to do a hard pull to confirm that your score is where you say it is or is what they need it to be. Okay. Now, don't worry. I do have a worst case scenario. Some of you guys are watching this and saying, well, Calvin, I want to lower my car payment, but I don't have the best credit. Don't worry, I got some solutions for you. Stick around to the end. I'm going to give you guys those solutions. Okay. So, number one is Caribou. I have the link for that in the description below. Number two, now, I used to tell people to go to Clear Lane. Now, Clear Lane is owned by Ally, but they no longer separated from Clear Lane. So they now just want you to go to ally.com. And once you go to ally.com, you do better just actually Googling. Google Ally Refinance. I'm sorry, Google Ally Auto Loan Refinance. Okay. Because Ally can also, I believe, I don't know if they do mortgage refinance, but either way, you just Google Ally Auto Loan Refinance. And also, guys, I'm going to stick around. So if you guys got questions, put the questions inside of the comments below. And of course, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. But if you guys got questions, leave them inside the comments. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna circle back to all the comments and make sure we get all the questions answered today. Okay. So make sure you guys Google Ally Auto Loan Refinance. That's another company that is a soft pull. That means that they will not look at your credit. They will do a soft pull and they will take a look at your credit. It's a soft pull. It will not affect your credit and they will let you know if they can get you approved for that auto loan. Okay. So now, again, if your payments, especially if you have double digits, if you're at 10%, 15%. Now, let me pause real quick. Some people are probably thinking, well, Calvin, interest rates are extremely high right now. They're not extremely high. They're just higher than what they were a few months ago. Okay. But if you're at 20% and interest rates are at 6%, 7%, let me tell you something. 6, 7, 10, 15, 18 is better than what you're paying right now. Okay. So again, it's not about getting 0%. It's not about getting 5%. It's about getting what you can get right now to help you lower your car payment. I recently I just showed someone how to do this. They had a lease. They were paying over $1,600 a month. They took my advice. Okay. They took my advice. Okay. And they were able to drop that down from 1,600 to over $900 a month. Now, I know some of you all are thinking, man, 1,600, that's already crazy. 900 is already still crazy. But let me tell you something. That saves over $700 a month. Let me ask you a question. What could you do if you could save $200 a month, $300 a month? $500 a month, $700 a month. And again, the thing is, people only don't do this because they don't know. See, we don't know what we don't know. So you have to take the time and say, you know what? Let me at least try. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you're going to at least try this today. I'm talking like tonight. Okay. Tonight, put the application in, see if you can get approved and see what that is going to be for your car note. A lot of people are talking about credit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to show you all how to use your credit score. What's the point of having a low credit score, then going into a high credit score and not maximizing? It's more than just getting credit cards, it's more than just getting a home. I'm trying to help you all save money. So if you're looking to save money, put save money inside the comments below. All right, let's keep going. So you guys got number one. That's Caribou. I got the link inside the description for that. Number two is that we have you Google Ally Auto Refinance. Okay. Number three, and don't worry, I got plenty of options tonight. And like I said, if you get denied, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad. Some of you all get denied and you think the world is going to end. Stop thinking like that. We have to be positive. Okay. I got a solution for everything. Okay. So stick around with me. Okay. Number three is going to be auto pay. Now, auto pay is super dope. Let me explain why. Not only AutoPay does three things. Number one, they do auto loan refinances. Okay, so they do auto loan refinances. So go to autopay.com. That's AutoPay.com. Autopay.com. And then again, soft pull. Everything I'm talking about tonight is not going to affect your credit in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Don't forget, if you got questions, leave them in the comments. Okay. Auto pay. That's number one. They can lower your car payment. Number two, they do cash out refinances. If there's nothing you learn from tonight, this is one of the first banks I've seen do this. This is revolutionary. Why? Let me break that down. A cash out auto refinance means if your car is worth, let's say, 15,000 and you owe $10,000 on that car, that means you have $5,000 worth of equity. Let me give you guys different numbers. If you owe 17,000 on your car, and you owe 7,000. So it's worth 17, you owe 7, it has $10,000 worth of equity. What can you do with that equity? You can take that money and you can actually put that towards your credit cards. You could take that money, you could pay off some debts. You could take that money, you can put that towards a house payment, or I'm sorry, a house down payment or something like that. So your car has equity, but the problem is you don't know how to do it. So I told myself I told myself I was not gonna jump in the comments, but somebody acting a fool in the comments already. Someone says salespeople all sound the same. What am I selling y'all on? But anyway, they must be new to the channel. There's over 1,500 videos. I'm not gonna act a fool. Now you know, forget I'm gonna act a fool. So listen, there's 1,500 videos on this channel. I'm gonna give you more than anybody else will. I don't listen. I don't care what you do. My job is to make sure that you know the information. So listen, Miss Califormula, tell the people what they should be doing. If they have a car payment and they want to lower that car payment. So California says, so you don't sell as a profession? What? I own a real estate brokerage, right? And I have a YouTube channel. I'm informing you based on this information. But I'm ready for tonight. It's Saturday. So listen, Monday through Friday, I'm gonna be professional. But the weekend, I'm gonna be ratchet. So listen, let me know what you want to say. We'll keep going. No, I'm kidding. They said exactly. But anyway, okay. Anyway, so but here you can choose to be here or you can bounce. Okay, so you can stick around or you can bounce. So you obviously here for the information, right? So if you want the information, stick around. Otherwise, listen. The people in the comments, let me know. I'm not hating, bro. I'm just saying you sound like a salesperson. All respect, do your thing. I'm just pointing that out. Listen, I don't know if and you know what, and I appreciate that. Here's the thing: is that it may sound salesy because I actually use my words properly, but I'm making sure that I bring the information. But I'm letting you know right now, California. I'm letting you know right now. Listen, the people in the comments, they're gonna come at you. But good luck. But I greatly appreciate that though. But listen, I know we usually don't see too many people, especially with my skin color, actually talking like they actually make sense. And so that's what that comes in. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've helped people save thousands of dollars and I've helped thousands of people nationwide get into homes and all the rest of that. But anyway, no problem. I get it. Don't worry. I'm not going to take it personal. But either way, I'm just messing around, man. But either way, I'm just letting you know my people, they're going to come for you in the comments, man. So good luck. Let's keep going. So next is going to be I forgot to mention that. So again, cash out refinance. So you can take money out of with autopay.com. So that means again, if you owe, let's say for example, you owe $7,000 and you have your car's worth 17,000. That's $10,000 you could take out and you could put that towards whatever you're looking to put that towards. Okay. So again, this is revolutionary. Nobody is talking about this. I actually need to do a video just on that alone. Usually, when people talk about cash out refinances, they usually talk about that with mortgages, right? Where you have a mortgage and your house is worth 200,000, you owe 100,000, and you can take out a certain percentage of that. You can take it like 75%, 80% of that, and then you could do whatever you want to do. This is revolutionary. You know why they're doing this? Because there's a lot of people that have equity in their auto loans. Okay. So, again, some of you all have a car is worth more than what you owe. And some of you all have credit card debt. So if you take that money out and you take that lump sum and you can throw it directly at that credit card debt or whatever debt that is, your collections, you may be dealing with an eviction, you may be dealing with a charge off, whatever that is, you can most definitely turn that into it. Okay. So keep that in mind. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to swing back into the comments. I told you, California. I was trying to help you. But anyway, listen, we greatly appreciate all comments, though, for real. I'm not looking for everybody to agree with every single word that I say, but I will say this is that as we bring this information to the people, we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes things sound foreign to us. And let's be honest, a lot of people aren't trying to like help us. Everybody's like, sometimes people trying to sell something, sometimes people trying to give you wrong information. But listen, not here at 850 Club. We do this on a regular basis. All right. So you guys got that. Number one is Caribou. The link is inside the description if you guys want to learn more about that. Number two is Ally Auto Refinance. They used to be called Clear Lane, but they don't go by it anymore. I don't know why. And then number three is going to be Auto Pay. Okay. Now remember, I said there's going to be three things about auto pay. They do auto loan refinancing, which we talked about. They do a cash out refinance. And watch this. Number three, if you have a lease, they will show you how to refinance your lease. Game changing, game changer. So that means that if you have a lease, they will essentially lower your lease payment. Essentially, what they do is they just turn that lease into a purchase. And because a lot of people that bought cars, especially before this year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, listen, I'm telling you, strongly consider keeping that car turn it into a purchase if you honestly can. Okay. So that's what you could do for that. Number four, I hope you guys are writing this down. Number four is lendingclub.com. Lendingclub.com. Now, Lending Club, I know it sounds like a club. You do not have to be a member. Okay. You do not have to be a member. Check this out. But you can refinance. All of these options are soft pulls. They will not, I repeat, they will not look at your credit. Okay. They will not look at your credit. So you may most definitely want to make sure that you're in that position. Take advantage of this. Okay. Number five. Okay. So we got number four. That's Lending Club. I'm going to run through all of these before we go to the next step. I know what some of you guys are thinking. Two things. One, if you have questions, leave them inside the comments. I'm going to run through the comments here quickly. Okay. So throw all of your throw all, throw all of your questions inside of the comments below. Okay, so throw your questions inside the below, and listen, we're gonna get to everybody's questions, and we most definitely gonna talk to California while they up in here tonight. So number five is gonna be Capital One auto refinance. Now, what I love about Capital One, many of you all have had credit cards with them in the past. Okay, they are the nation's largest credit card producer for subprime. Okay, so you most definitely want to have those things in place. Okay, so again, that's what you want to have in place. All right. So again, and actually the link for that is auto refi, AUTOREFI dot capital1.com. Okay. That's auto refi dot capital1.com. Okay. And so again, I'm telling you, I don't care what. Now, again, like I said at the beginning, if you're less than, let's say, for example, if you have like less than 1 year, less than a year and a half, or like less than 18 months, you may not need to refinance, guys, because you have such a short period of time. You would have to extend out your term for the numbers to make sense. And and I'm going to talk about that too. So number one, leave your questions inside the comments. That's number one. Number two, I know what you're thinking, Calvin. What if I get denied and I don't have a credit score? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all one, two, three, four. I got four ways you can improve your credit score. I'm gonna give you guys all of this. Okay. Will they refinance a motorcycle? Very good question. Oh, I'm jumping into the comments. My bad. I'm gonna jump into the comments here shortly. I got a habit of doing that. Don't worry, we finna jump into the comments real quick. All right, so I'm gonna run through the list again. Number one is Caribou. The link is inside the description below. You guys can go ahead and click on that and then learn more about it. Number two is Ally Auto Refinance. Number three is AutoPay, AUTOPAY.com. They also do cash out refinances and they can help you refinance your lease. Number four is lendingclub.com. You do not have to be a member. You could do that. And number five is going to be Capital One Auto Refinance. Now, we're going to jump into the comments here in a second. How can you improve your credit score? I got four ways you can improve your credit score. I hope you guys are ready. Number one, I have my advanced credit blueprint. My advanced credit blueprint can help you improve your credit scores. Now, we have over 1,500 videos on YouTube. 1,500. 1,500. So you can either watch these videos, or if you want an accelerated way to get right into the meat and potatoes, the exact steps of what you need to do to improve your credit score. Now, just like, listen, I got the mic, so I'm going to be messing with California all night. So anyway, but no, California actually made a very good point. And they said if you just pay your bills on time, but what happens if you don't pay your bills on time and your score goes down? Right? Now you got a 500, now you got a 400, now you got a 600. What if you co-sign for somebody? You pay all your bills on time and then they didn't pay, right? What if you pay rent with somebody and they didn't pay, right? These things happen. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And because of that, their credit score ends up going down, and then that limits their options. Okay. So sometimes you need a faster way to rebuild. Paying bills on time is most definitely one of the key things. But there are some ways that when you're rebuilding, you need to accelerate those results, right? And so I've seen over 10,000 credit reports, and we put all of that information inside of the advanced credit blueprint. Okay. And of course, we have the videos as well, too. So that's two ways. Number three, we have our community. Okay. We have our online community in which you can ask your questions and be around like-minded goal-setting people. And people are looking to get those things done as well. Okay. So that's the thing. All right. So now let's get right into the comments. Now, California, we finna get to work. We finna get to work, but no, I'm kidding. All right. So here, let me start from the top. Make sure. Yes. So Tony says, hit the like button. Yes, please go ahead and hit the like button. share, subscribe, especially for everyone that's new to the channel as well. All right. Next is Tony says, I don't like my payment, but I'm fine with my 2.79% from 2 years ago. Man, that's a bomb interest rate. That's a bomb interest rate. All right. So here's another thing, too. A lot of times, now keep in mind, this is what I want you guys to understand. Watch where I'm going with this. What my bad, I got too close to the mic. But watch where I'm going with this. If you have a great interest rate, or you are okay with making your payment, but you want the bank to expect less. Watch where I'm going with this. Let's say, for example, you're okay with paying $600 a month. You lower your car payment to $400 a month. Now the bank is expecting $400 a month, and you can use that other 200 for something else. Okay. Now I'm not saying that you can't. You can still pay that car off early. You can still pay that car off just because the bank is expecting 400. You can still give them the $600 you had that you were planning to do before, but at least they're expecting less. That when you get around, birthday season, Christmas season, debt payoff season, whatever you're looking to accomplish, you can do that. Okay. Watch the second way that I'm going with this. What if you're just simply looking to just lower your car payment in general, right? But then your interest rate is going to go up a little bit. Again, just because you're doing that, it has to make sense to you. Some of you all are looking to get a lower interest rate. Some of you all are looking to get a different term. Some of you all are planning on keeping your car forever anyway, or whatever that is. Make sure that the numbers make sense to you. Okay. So T Brown says, I use Sky One Credit Union, 15% to 8. I'm sorry, 15% to 8% now. Congratulations, man. That's how you do it. T Brown says I saved $130 a month. Listen, now T Brown, if you're still watching this, who told you to refinance your auto loan? Okay, because again, banks don't tell you this. You rarely will get stuff in the mail saying, "Hey, lower your car payment." Do you know why? Banks don't want you to refinance because of a couple of reasons. Number one, they already have your signature on a long-term commitment for a higher interest rate, right? So it doesn't make sense for them to say, "Hey, let's go ahead and work something out. Let's go ahead and do business again." And they don't want to do that. They want to keep you at that high interest rate. Now, credit unions, on the other hand, they're like, listen, we're all about the relationship. So we want your auto loans, we want your house loan, we want you to have credit cards with us. So they're more relationship based. So they're going to be looking out for you. So T Brown, let us know who told you to go ahead and refinance that auto loan. I don't know if you learned that from the channel or if they reached out to you. Okay. Miss Susu says, I will try. My car is old. He's 11 years old. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. By the way, if you guys haven't downloaded my free ebook, that ebook is inside the description below. Okay, make sure you guys go and download that. So now 11 years old. What happens if your car doesn't qualify? Right? Did you know that you can have the credit score? Right? You can have the credit score. You can have you can have the rates that you're looking to get, but sometimes your car doesn't qualify. It could be the age. It could also be the miles. Okay. Now, what happens if it's the age or the miles and they decline you because of that? You have two options, really three options. Okay. Option number one, you can trade the car in. Okay. You could trade the car in. And then when you get the new terms based on the terms today, again, I know the interest rates aren't the best, but if you're coming from 28%, 25%, 18%, 15%, 12%, and you now qualify for 6%, 10%, something like that, you most definitely could take advantage of those better interest rates. It's better than what you were doing before. Okay. It's all about taking advantage of what you can do right now. It's about what you can save right now. So that's option number one. Option number two is that you could take out a personal loan. Okay. You could take out a personal loan. I know some of you guys are thinking, well, Calvin, listen, a personal loan will be way more. No, it's not. Listen, most of these personal, I'm gonna give you some personal loan options right now. I also have a short on YouTube right now. And it's called personal loan options for most credit scores. Make sure you guys go check that out. And you guys can go to avant.com, avant.com, write that down. Lendingclub.com. It's off the top of my head. SoFi.com, that's SOFI.com. It's so many. Payoff.com. Now, Payoff changed their name to Happy Money. So that's happymoney.com. I know it sounds crazy, but that's they did. You also have American Express personal loans. You have Discover personal loans. You have Upstart personal loans. And we have the link for the description and down below for that. Now, why would you consider a personal loan? Watch where I'm going. If your auto loan is 28%, 25%, 20%, 18%, 15%, 12%, 10%, you can get a personal loan that has a better interest rate. use that and then pay off the rest of your loans. Okay. And that's what just makes sense to you. Okay. So make sure it makes sense to you. But again, you may have to do this because here's the deal, you have to look at your alternatives. It's either keep the auto loan that you have right now and keep paying it. Your score has gone up. So many of you all have gone from 300 to 600, 400 to 600, 500 to 650, like 550 to almost 700. Use that new credit score. You need, listen, they gave you those terms because that's who you used to be. Somebody put in the comments, that's who I used to be. That's who I used to be. Now you need to take advantage of who you are right now. It means nothing. Credit means nothing if you're not doing anything with it. You don't have to buy a building every month. You don't have to get a high limit credit card every month, but make sure that everything you have makes sense. It needs to make sense. You have options. Make sure you guys put that in the comments. You have options. All right. So Winnie says, I own an e-bike instead of a car. I know that's right. Winnie always talking about she always saving money out here. All right, then we got to California. All right, we gonna circle back to them. And and Miss Susu, I told them, listen, you always get great information. Thank you, Reese. I greatly appreciate that, and Susu as well too. And California says, I listened to like 4 seconds, and it was obvious that we have a salesperson, and I just pointed that out. Wish you the best. Have a good weekend. Don't take stuff personal. No, no, no. We just having some fun, man, for the weekend. All right. So Melanie said, you're a look, I'm not trying to start nothing, okay? But I'm telling you, listen, Melanie Queen and her mama gonna be up in here, so don't. I'm gonna pass it on up, okay, Melanie? We appreciate you being here. Well, Winnie says, just got my mortgage balance and below 60K. Did it in 6 years. Congratulations! I might buy a car when we pay off our house. Good move, good move. All right. And then California is still up in here as well. Listen, Cali, if you're up in here, man, drop some tips, man. We get the back and forth. And don't get me wrong. We appreciate everybody's opinion. But I want to make sure we get people winning. It's already enough people arguing. It's already enough people going back and forth. It's already enough people choosing from between red and blue, Republican, Democrat, black and white, hey, South side, West side. Listen, we get all of that. I'm just trying to make sure I help people win. Okay, we get one life in here. So I don't want to waste it going back and forth. All right, but you guys can do that if you want to. All right, next is gonna be glad my car was paid off before the pandemic. I know that's right. And Melanie Queen says, I'm a huge fan because I've experienced actual results. Melanie, we appreciate you being here. Hey, no shame and being a fan. He trying to act like y'all are Doberman pinchers. No, they just listen, man. They love the information and they just want to see people win too, which I'm sure you do too. All right. Next, Benny says, will they refi a motorcycle? I would try. It's a soft pull. A loan is an auto loan is an auto loan. But here's the deal. Worst case scenario, they don't refinance it, right? You can always go with a personal loan. Okay, you can always go to a personal loan. Remember, I told you guys about that. We could either do a trade-in or we can do a personal loan. And I wrote down the other option as well, too. What was the other option? I can't think of it now. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't three, it was two. So you either trade it in or you could do a personal loan. Okay, there's gonna be your options there. All right. And then Miss Susu says, as am I, he's provided info. Use it or don't. Greatly appreciate that. And then you want some financial advice? Red, I will teach you to be rich. Yep, that's an amazing book. All right. And in California says, put all that money into your savings account, invest it, keep it for 6 months. Yeah, we got that. But we talking about lowering car payments here. Wish you all the best. Sorry if I ruffle any feathers. You all good, man. He said you have a good night. Find me in the comments. I got a treat for you. Sounds good, man. We appreciate you being here. All right, Thomas says, how long does it take to rebuild? It just really depends. You know what? I would say 90 days. You should be able to go from 300s, 400s, 500s easily to 600, 650, somewhere between 600 to 700. Most of the people that follow my strategy inside the advanced credit blueprint have seen at on average a 50 to 100 point increase. I will say this, the lower your score is, the more points you're going to see. Why? Because your credit report is looking for, I won't say anything positive, it's looking for a certain amount of activity within a certain amount of time. So the lower that your scores are, the better it's going to be. Okay. To be totally honest with you. Okay. So that's what you want to do. And now, there's a lot of ways you can rebuild your credit. I would say start out here. I When you're on YouTube, a lot of times people tell you a lot of different things, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but everyone's situation is different. And what I've realized is that it really depends on how many accounts you have open and what type of accounts you have that are open. Okay. So I'm man, now I'm thinking about what he said. I'm not trying to sell y'all on nothing. But if you really pay attention to what's in that advanced credit blueprint, it shows you how many based it has a chart. And that chart is, and this I'm telling you, this is going way before I even started 850 Club. This is when I used to work at the dealership. And I've seen over 10,000 credit reports. And what I noticed was is that the scores that are lower will go up faster. That's number one. Number two is that if you have a certain amount of accounts and you add certain types of accounts, the game is different now. 10 years ago, you had to get a secured credit card. 10 years ago, you had to be an authorized user. 10 years ago, you had to get a secured credit card, regular credit card. Like you had to go old school. Now it's so many ways you could do it. And with that advanced credit blueprint, it tells you based on where you are right now. So you guys can, you can actually look at where you are right now and it will show you how to improve your credit score. Okay. Now that's one option. If you want a more personal touch, then you can either get a custom game plan. This is where my team and I we look at your credit report and we tell you exactly what you need to do based on your current credit score and report right now. Okay. Now, if you say, hey, you know what? I'm not trying to do all that. No problem. We have a community where you can ask me questions anytime. Like, no, I won't say anytime, but questions inside the community. And we have people at different score levels. We got people that's in the 300s in that group, and we got people that's in the 800s in that group. So you most definitely can learn some stuff inside the community as well. But either way, or you can watch, we got 1,500 videos. If you watch the right ones, you'll be fine. Okay. You'll be just fine. So I would say about 90 days to get to where you need to be. All right. So Tonia says, should you refinance the car? Absolutely. If you have less than 18, I'm sorry, if you have more than 18 months left on your auto loan, you should strongly consider refinancing your auto loan. Okay. Now to do that, go ahead and follow all the banks I just mentioned. They're all soft pulls. It costs you nothing. It costs you. You should at least try. You should at least try. It costs you nothing. Okay. When he says one late payment takes about 6 months to recover from, she's not lying. She's not lying. One late payment will set you back about 6 months, really about 3 to 6 months, depending on what your score is when you have that late payment. If you're in the sixes, oh man, it's a wrap. I'm telling you. Okay. Now, if you're in the sevens or the eights, you can kind of handle that. But I'm telling you, it can set you back. So you most definitely want to make sure you have everything in place. Andre says, when should you refinance? If you have more than 18 months left on your auto loan, that's when I would strongly recommend it. Take a look at the numbers. It costs you guys nothing to take a look at the numbers. So, for example, you're like, you know what, Calvin? My interest rate is X, my balance is X, and I don't know if I should refinance. Go to any one of those banks, look at the numbers, see if they make sense to you. Here's another thing too, I forgot to mention. Just because you're refinancing doesn't mean that you always have to you don't have to restart the loan, guys. You don't have to restart the loan at all. You do not have to restart the loan. Watch where I'm going. It's a new loan with a new company. Let me give you an example. If you have 4 years left on your auto loan, just giving you guys an example. You got 4 years left on your auto loan. You can go from 4 to 5. You can go from 4 to 6. Well, from 6, okay? You can do that if you want to, but you do not have to. You can go from 4 to 3. You can go from 4 to 2. Okay. What's the difference? It's not just the term, it's the rate and the payment. Make sure that the numbers make sense to you. Some people think, oh, well, Calvin, I had a 6 year auto loan and I got 4 years left. I don't want to start over and go back to 6. You don't have to. Okay. You could do whatever you want to do. You can go from 6 to 4, refinance, stay at 4, but you got 4 years left at 19%. Now you can have 4 years left at 15%. You can have 4 years left at 12%. You can have 4 years left at 8%. Right? You don't have to start over. Okay. Make sure just another reminder. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Miss Susu says, thank you, Calvin. You are more than welcome. Appreciate the support. Tonia says, that's who I used to be. Listen, that's right. Listen, put it in the comments. That you guys, listen, you have an interest rate and terms based on who you used to be. You've changed. Your credit score is going up. And if it hasn't gone up, that's okay. Listen, don't beat yourself up about it. But we do need to have a plan. You got to have a plan, whether it's watching YouTube videos, whether it's getting a custom game plan, whether it's joining my community, okay, or whether it's getting the advanced credit blueprint. I got options for you. Now, if you say, well, Calvin, I don't like none of those options, then hey, some people don't like change. Okay. Some people like this. Don't be that person that says they want something and then the action doesn't match it. We all struggle with that. So listen, I'm not as skinny as I used to be in my videos. For those who've been watching me for years, That is one thing I'm like, man, the food, listen, food need to stop tasting so good. Listen, don't y'all come for me in these comments now. I know y'all will. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. So now Miss Susu says you have options. You most definitely have options. Succeeding says great info. Thank you. I appreciate that. Will keeps it real. Preach, Calvin. Great. Listen, I greatly appreciate you being here. Thomas says, how long does it take to rebuild my credit? Yep, I answered that as well too. Melanie Queen, listen, she says, listen, she up in here. And where her mom at? Listen, Melanie, where your mom at? I know she up in here. She's not too far. All right, so Shantae says, great key point. Absolutely. Sharnita says, for auto loans, are they pulling Vantage or FICO? My FICO is a little better. Great question. So it depends. A lot of companies look at various ones. For the most part, though, expect companies to look at FICO. The companies will not necessarily be changing from FICO to Vantage fully. They're more than likely going to be looking at both. But Vantage is most definitely trying to step up. We'll see how that whole thing goes. But as for right now, it's safe to say they're more than likely going to be looking at FICO. The only ones right now that may be looking at both is credit unions, and not all credit unions. Right now, they're really testing out a lot of programs. But honestly, I think they're going to be waiting like to after the election before we start seeing some major Vantage switches. It's going to be after the election, to be totally honest with you. Okay. But yeah, if your FICO's a little bit better, Sharnita, you should be fine. So CDN says, I paid off my car for a while and the brand has been good to me. Very few issues, but I'll be looking for a new car soon. There's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with trading in, guys. If you all have a certain higher interest rate, and you say, Calvin, I don't know if I want to keep this car, refinance. I know I'm gonna lower my car payment, but I don't know if I want to refinance. You don't have to. You can easily just trade that car in and then get a better interest rate. Okay. But keep in mind, it's a newer car. Car prices have gone up. Not trying to talk you out of it, but again, things are a little bit different now. So if you want to wait till things kind of settle down, like season a little bit, interest rates probably not going to come down to after. I won't say probably. Interest rates not coming down to after the election. They are already talking about this. Listen, they got me hyped up too. They was like, oh, we're gonna do about 4 to 6 rate drops. They ain't did nothing. Okay, so it's gonna be after the election, beginning of 2025. All right. So, but that's what you want to do. That's what I recommend. Thomas says someone to a card. Thomas, if you're still up in here, let me know what that means. Succeeding says, I got a credit builder account and 2 credit cards. Mine went up 90 points in less than 30 days. See, there you go. Great job. AJK says Calvin always positive and helping people. Y'all know what's up. AJK says blueprint is solid. Our purchase and everything he's saying is accurate. Listen, listen. Listen. If anybody is watching this, we got 121 people on the live right now. Just so you guys know, I think we broke the record today. I think we hit like 133 or something like that. But anyway, um, here, if you all have learned anything from this channel, I need you guys to email my team. Okay, this helps. We need people to know we just not blowing smoke out here. We give you guys raw, real information that people can use. Y'all want to watch those YouTubers that's like, this is how you remove everything off your credit. You ain't never got to pay your collections. Y'all can watch them people all you want. There's nothing wrong with that. At some point, you're going to say, what do I do with this credit score? That's when you're going to come on right up over here. Okay. Y'all can leave. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you what you need to do with that new score. Okay. Because these are things people forget about. They say, oh, I went from a 400 credit score to a 650. Great. What are we going to do with that? Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to do with that. Okay. So again, that's what it's all about. But I'm saying this to say here, if you all have had any kind of success from this channel, please email my team at support at the850club.com. That's SUPPORT at the 850 club. That's THE850CLUB. Okay. .com. Support at the 850 club. Email us. Let us know if you've learned, if you've accomplished anything by watching this channel. Okay. Please let us know that we need those success stories. So AJK, if you are still watching this, please send us an email. Okay. Let us know. Okay. And yes, we like video testimonials, email testimonials. We're gonna be interviewing some people. Okay. Listen, we need that because the videos will never stop. But at the same time, we need to know that people are actually listening and taking action on what we're saying. All right, let's keep going. I can't pronounce that name, but THLANC3 just join. Can you say the name again of the banks? I got you. So Caribou is number one. That link is inside the description below. We also have Ally Auto Refinance. So make sure you guys check that out. I used to say Clear Lane. They used to go by the name Clear Lane. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out too. I'm sorry, not. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They used to go by Clear Lane. Clear Lane doesn't exist anymore. I know, sounds stupid, but Ally hasn't changed. What they did was Ally has been around for years. They do stock options. I'm sorry, they do. They have brokerage accounts. They have auto finances. And what they were doing was they changed their auto refinance. They turned it into a completely different company called Clearlane. People got confused, so they just brought it on back to Ally. So just Google Ally Auto Refinance. That's number 3. Number 4 is lendingclub.com. Number 5 is Capital One Auto Refinance. I almost forgot. Number 6. I appreciate you guys sticking around for about 40 minutes. Number 6 is Upstart Auto Loan Refinance. Again, soft pull. All of these are soft pulls. What does that mean? That means there will be no effect on your credit score in any way, shape, or form. Now, that's to see the numbers and the payments. Once you decide to move forward, they have to do a hard pull. Soft pull to show you the numbers and the terms. You say, okay, this payment makes sense to me. This term makes sense to me, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years makes sense to me. And the interest rate makes sense to me. Once you decide to move forward, then they will do a hard pull to confirm you are actually a human being. Okay. And make sure that your numbers and stuff is right. Okay. And then you'll be able to do that. So that's 6 options for you guys. All right. All right. Next, Mark says, how much should I put down on a car loan? Um, so this video isn't for that, but don't worry, I got you. um, it just really depends. I would say honestly, it really depends. If you're looking at it, I would say less than about 10%, 10% or less, 5 to 10% on a car loan is not unreasonable. So if you're buying think about it, if you're buying a $20,000 car and you want to put down 2,000. Now here's the deal: you do not have to put down any money. Putting money down on an auto loan is more of something that you just want to do. But I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do that. You do not have to put down money on an auto loan if you don't want to. Now, leases are a little different. Leases, you don't have to put down money, but most of them may require it. And if you don't, that's because it throws off the percentages based on the estimated amount of equity when you're done with the auto lease. Okay, so and the short version is, if you're buying a car, you don't have to. If you're doing a lease, there's a possibility you may have to. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But don't worry, we got plenty of videos on auto loans. Here, I'm gonna tell you guys this: just because my videos are old does not mean the information is inaccurate. I want you guys to understand that. Most of my videos, especially about the auto loans, y'all know I come from the car business. That's how I actually started this channel. I got tired of seeing a lot of people get denied for auto loans. It was ridiculous. Like did you know 70% of people that walk into a dealership can't buy a car? That means 10 people walk into a dealership, 7 will get denied. Those numbers have not changed. That's why I started this channel. I said, Joe, y'all listen, we got to start teaching this information like ASAP. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because most of my auto loan videos are still accurate to the day. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's inaccurate. But don't worry, I'll be remaking some of those videos because I don't went like into a whole nother level about it since then. But that's what I would recommend, Mark. AJK says credit unions for car loans all day, every day. Yeah, I recommend that. They most definitely be looking out for their members and give you guys better interest rates as well. Succeeding says, Mark, negotiate the amount before you tell them how much you're going to put down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good point there. And before you tell them what you're going to do to trade in as well, too. Absolutely. Don't bring up how much you're going to put down or what that you're going to be trading anything. Focus on, hey, I want this car. Let's test drive it. What's the numbers? And then get the numbers and the no commitment, and then bring up how much money you're gonna put down, and then bring up the fact you got to trade it. Look at that. See, this is why we created the channel, so people can help each other out. Okay, that's what it's all about. Thomas says, thanks, brother. You're more than welcome. Will keeps it real. Double-digit auto loans are insane. Refi ASAP. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't care if you're at 10%, 12%, 13%. That's better than what you used to be. It's better than 15, 18, 20%, but you can still get a single digit interest rate. That's what you want to push for, a single digit interest. Succeeding says, you need a plan. You need a plan. I plan months before I apply for credit. Absolutely. So before you even do it, always had a plan before you even go to the dealership or whatever you decide to do. AJK said, Calvin said, do the math, do the numbers. Listen, make sure it makes sense to you. Denise Baker's in the house. What's going on? Mel Soto says, Calvin is dropping knowledge and gems. Pay it forward and click the thumbs up. Thank you, Calvin. Much appreciated. Yes, listen, I greatly appreciate you guys being here. Entrepreneur 44. Started that custom game plan, Calvin, and I'm going hard. Listen, thank you. Let me know, man, because y'all don't be in the comments enough. My team and I, we be working hard. We look at y'all credit report. We tell you what you need to do exactly step by step. Don't skip them steps. We put some stuff in there to say optional. Now, only if it says optional is it really optional. Everything else you really need to be doing if you want to get the results in a certain period of time. Okay. Please send us an email, support at the 850club.com. I want people to know that we really have success stories out here. We're not just doing videos. Okay. Appreciate that, Entrepreneur 44. Teacher says, how do I connect for the custom game plan? Yes. Great question. We have that link for the custom game plan inside of the description. Okay. So the link for the custom game plan is inside the description below. Okay. So here, if you guys are ready for a hack, I'm going to give you guys the custom game plan hack. Y'all ready for the hack? The hack is if you join my community, not only cheaper, if you join a community, you also get if you join a community, you get a discount on the custom game plan. But I'm gonna give you another hack. This is super hack. If you join the community, every week I go live for my community only. It's Q&A. There sometimes it'd be like 2 or 3 people that show up. And that so it's almost like a one-on-one situation. That's the hack. Okay. But again, if you don't want to go that route, no problem. The link is inside the description if you want the custom game plan. Okay. Succeeding says for auto loans, do banks pull from credit agencies like Nexus, Lexus? No. Usually for auto loans, they only pull Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And every dealership has a different base. Like they have a different software platform that they use. So some platforms look at 2 out of 3. Some platforms look at 1. And you can call the dealership too. Like, listen, call the dealership on like Tuesday through Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hit them up and just say, hey, listen, what bureau do you guys look at? And they'll tell you, like they will tell you, listen, speak to the finance manager. As soon as they open up 9:30, 9 o'clock, 10 a.m., talk to the finance manager. So listen, what credit bureau do you guys use? And they will tell you they ain't busy Tuesday through Thursday. Okay. I'm giving y'all the tips and tricks. But no, they don't even look at LexisNexis. The only people that really look at LexisNexis really is if you are bankruptcy courts look at it, and if you're looking for an apartment. Other than that, nobody really even look at LexisNexis. I don't care. I don't care what anyone tells you. No one looks at LexisNexis unless you're looking to get an apartment, or if you're looking like if it's bankruptcy related. No one looks at that. Mortgage companies don't look at that. Auto loan companies don't look at that. Credit card companies don't look at that. Personal loan, student loan, they don't look at that. Okay, people be overhyping it on YouTube. And I know what y'all thinking, like, how we know what you're saying is true, because I sold cars for 6 years. So that means I'm from the car industry. Number 2, I'm a licensed real estate broker. My wife and I own a brokerage here in Illinois. So that's real estate and cars. That's the 2 biggest thing that people spend their money on. Credit cards, come on, y'all know that, because y'all know people that shouldn't have credit cards and they got them. Y'all know they ain't look at LexisNexis, okay? And I'll leave it at that. All right, next is Seceding says, let me make sure I missed that. Okay, Seceding says, we have to car shop and negotiate the last week when they're trying to move the deals too. That's right. So the last day of the month or the last day of the year. Remember that. Write that down. Last day of the month or last day of the year. They always pushing them units. Okay. And Saturdays too. Usually a Saturday is good too. Any Saturday, they always got something going on with the salespeople, stuff like that. So Saturdays, last day of the month, last day of the year. Okay. Last day of the month is going to be really going to be good for you. When he says, Calvin, explain the pros and cons of leasing versus buying cars. Man, y'all trying to go into like an hour and a half live, man. So here, I'll give the snippet, but I will write that down so I can go ahead and have that. So here, leasing versus buying. I'll write that down for another live. All right, I got you. So, but the short version is, I would recommend leasing if you don't drive a lot. I would say if you drive, like if you really drive like a reasonable amount, like 12,000 miles a year, 15,000 miles a year, they have leases for 18,000, but it starts to kind of go up in that monthly amount. So 12,000 to 15,000 miles. They always got some 10,000 miles too. So 10,000 to 18,000 miles a year, really about 15. So 10, 12, or 15,000 miles a year or less is what I would recommend leasing. What's so good about leasing is that you can hop out the car when it's time to hop out the car. But then you got the season like right now, where if you lease the car, the interest rates are probably a little bit higher right now. So it's like, oh man, do I jump out of my car and get a higher payment? You don't have to turn that lease into turn that lease into a purchase. Some of you all need to turn your leases into a purchase. Do that ASAP. Turn your lease into a purchase. Okay. It's going to save you a lot of money. Okay. I told you guys, I helped a client go from $1,600 to $900 a month. They had a lease and they turned it into a purchase. Okay. Now, obviously, you got to have a credit score to do that. You don't have to have 700. Listen, you guys don't have to have 700 to do everything. You can have a 620, 650. But I'm saying that to say, because depending on the car and how much the balance is and stuff like that, and what your debts are, your income, but you don't have to have an 800 to do this stuff, guys. I mean, so again, just saying that to say, okay, that you can most definitely do that. When he says Calvin, okay, I already did that. So, and then obviously buying a car. If you plan on doing like Uber, DoorDash, like some of these apps and stuff like that, you're gonna be putting miles on your car. Go with a purchase. Do not go to lease. You're gonna mess that whole situation up. Okay, that's what I recommend. But we're gonna go into a deeper dive into that. I'll turn it into another live. Okay. Next is okay, when we got you. Thomas says, should I add someone with no credit to my card with 3 years on it for a boost? I would do so if you know them. Obviously, if you know them, but then yeah, I would do that. It's not a problem at all. But here, be careful, Thomas. If you keep adding people and removing people, they're gonna close your card out. People don't talk about that on authorized users. We're gonna talk about that soon. Interesting says, should Gen Z even bother trying to get a house now, since it feels like kind of a long term? Here, guys, let me here. Buying a house now is not like the most. It's not the horrible. It's not like a horrible thing to do right now. I'm just being honest. Interest rates are what interest rates are, but they will be going down. So if listen, I'll tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the same story and I don't mind doing this. I'm gonna tell you all the same story I tell everybody, and that story is I had a client. She was renting an apartment. She had mold in her apartment. True story. She had mold in her apartment. She had a newborn baby. The landlord was not in a financial position to get that taken care of. And so she said, "Girl, listen, I need you to keep paying rent. I can't afford to get this black mold out." So she says, "Okay, so how can I get around this?" I said, "Well, the only way you can control the situation is if you have ownership." She says, "Well, if I can just get another apartment." Yeah, you can get another apartment, but if you get another apartment, there's no guarantee. You're not gonna have ownership. Okay, you're not gonna have ownership. You need ownership. Somebody put that. You need ownership. You need ownership. And so let's put you in position to go into homeownership. We put her in position to go into ownership. Listen, check this out. That ain't even the best part. Y'all ready for the best part? She had a VA loan. She didn't even listen. She didn't even qualify for the VA loan because of her credit. I said, if we get your score up to about a 580, we can get you qualified for a VA loan. We surpassed that. We got her to like a past a 640. She got a VA loan. She's in her brand new house right now. If I have my computer, I'll show y'all the photo. Okay. But again, I'm saying that to say some people can't wait. Not can't wait like by choice. They can't wait because it's not a smart decision to wait. So why does that make sense? Because we all know interest rates aren't the best right now. I'm not gonna be naive, but we do know that they're gonna come down and we're gonna be able to refinance. So again, it's gonna suck right now, but you'll be able to refinance later. Okay. Either way, guys, I'm gonna be wrapping up. So I'm gonna run through the rest of these questions up in here. Next is I'll most definitely send your team an email. Please, AJK, we need that. Okay. Instagram says feels like I'll never be a homeowner. Don't say that interesting. Listen, we have our home buying event. We have a home buying event coming up. It's our home buying challenge. What does the challenge mean? The challenge means we're going to make sure you know everything you need to know to go into home ownership. This ain't no home buying seminar. We're telling you, hey, listen, if your credit is this, do this. If you have this many accounts, do this. I'm gonna be incorporating the advanced credit blueprint. Mind you, you can only get this information if you're in my community. When you join my community, you automatically get access to all my courses. So as soon as you join the community, you get instant access to my advanced credit blueprint. That advanced credit blueprint has helped thousands of people nationwide improve their credit scores and get closer to their credit goals. Why is that important? Because listen, like what Interesting said, I'm going to put you in position for homeownership, whether you decide to buy a home this year or next year. So you can go into homeownership. We got to be more positive about this stuff, man. But I get it though. I get it because so many people are telling you all what you cannot do. You can do this. I'm gonna hold your hand and show you guys the way. But that's inside my community, and my link is in the description below. By the way, again, another opportunity. Just a reminder: like this, share this, and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Juan says Just seen the title of this. What's the deal? Juan, where you been at? We didn't already went over these. We didn't already went over that. So I give you got 6 banks that I'm sure by now you already saw that. All right. So anyway, so Denise says Navy Fed just approved me for a car. Shout out to Denise. Let's say congratulations to Denise for getting approved for an auto loan from Navy Federal. Devin says, "Hey, happy Saturday. What's going on, Devin?" Michael says, "Almost 700 across the board. Car payment for the time last 2 years. Been with Navy Federal for over 30 days. Great job. Congratulations on that, Michael." Bonnie says, "Why did the primary card holder only lose 14 points on a credit card with 50% utilization? And I'm an authorized user and I lost 37 points." Everybody's credit profile is different. So keep in mind, since they have the actual credit card, they more than likely have other accounts that's a similar age as well. Keep that in mind. If they've been building credit for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they also have other accounts as well. So their accounts can take more, like, negative things that may happen. So that's the best way I can explain it. Versus you may not have a strong credit profile. So as soon as that happened, it really made your score drop. That's another thing too. Get yourself removed out that authorized user account, especially if they can't keep that balance down. Okay. All right. So either way, congratulations, Denise. Everybody. Yep. 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 What should a decent interest rate look like? If you're talking about a car, I would say under 10% for sure. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Melanie says she got the custom game plan. It was helpful. All right, greatly appreciate you guys. Listen, I know y'all got the comments like lighting up tonight. Oh, okay, okay. I should be able to wrap this up. Insurance companies. Do I see them on my Lexus Nexus? If they do a soft pull, I don't get loans from dealerships. I secure the credit union first. Smart move, very smart. I'm from Illinois too. No wonder I like your content. Listen, we're gonna be doing something soon for everybody that's in Illinois, so stay tuned for that as well too. When he says, "Okay, cool," Cecile says, "Congratulations, Denise." That's what I'm talking about. Benny says, "Do you speak on business credit, or who is your equal in business credit?" I know that's right. So check this out. I talk about business credit on a basic level, but don't worry, I got some opportunities coming up. We got a special Q&A for our community only. It's going to be a community only Q&A that's coming up with us, very special guests that I have, and they specialize in business credit. So we can talk about that. So if, again, take this opportunity, jump into the community if you guys are not in there already. But we got some people that's most definitely on my level, and they break that down on the business credit aspect. Okay. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And the link is in the description below. Shantae says, "Congratulations." Jafar says, I want to give my car that I'm still paying for to my brother. Is there a way to transform it into his name? Yeah, he got to get a personal loan. He either got to get a personal loan and then buy it out from you, or he has to get a loan from the credit union. He can't go to a dealership or nothing like that. That's the only way he can do it, or obviously cash. That's the only way he can do it, cash, or you got to borrow the money from the bank, or you got to do a personal loan or a credit union loan. That's the only way around that. Okay. And that's the only way we're gonna be able to do that. All right. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. Don't forget, if you guys like this video, like it. If you guys want to share it, share it. And of course, be sure to subscribe, as we have nothing but great, amazing content on the way. Don't forget, I got a special video coming up about Navy Federal. So if you guys got Navy Federal, make sure you guys go and get ready for that video. Okay. We greatly appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you, R Lake, man. R Lake, you be watching all the lives, man. We really appreciate you all the way from LA is in the house. Jafar says, "Thank you. Listen, appreciate you being here." Shantae says, "Good night, peace and blessings to you." Absolutely. Cecile and Calvin, which dealerships did you work at? I probably shot with you before. So I was at I ain't gonna say the name because I'm not gonna give nobody no free promotion. But I was at Nissan on 95th and Pulaski. So Nissan 95th and Pulaski in Oakland, if you are familiar with that as well too. All right. So either way, Winnie says, "Have a good night." Thanks again, Cecile. Thank you guys so much. Like, share, subscribe, download the free ebook if you haven't done so. Jump into the community. It's always popping in the community. The community get everything first, man. I'm gonna be giving them way more. Okay, we got a lot more on the way. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.